There has been a big change from FM22 to FM23, and you need to react to it today. Now, the improved manager AI is going to change a lot of things, not just the animations on screen, but how you play the game. Now, Sports Interactive outlined a lot of the changes in a recent blog over on FMFC. So what does it mean for us when we think we've got our perfect tactic? What do we need to do to it? So you've got your perfect tactics, you've built your tactic, you're really happy with the way it looks and the way it plays in a few games. But for some reason, teams come back at you, and so many times the game ends up in a draw or you lose. Now, I had a great time with City using the tactic that I built, getting the best out of Haaland and some really good results, but it could have been even better. Games like this one against Arsenal, where we comfortably took an early 2-0 lead away from home, so I was delighted with that. But remember those changes I talked about? The opposition managers are now far, far more intelligent, and they will react to things if things aren't going their way. So while I was sat resting on my laurels, I think I actually even went and made a cup of tea, believe it or not. Arsenal, with a new change in philosophy and mindset, got one back pretty much straight away, and it continued in the second half. The change of momentum, and it led to Saka driving into the box, laying it across, and Tomiyasu scoring, and we dropped 2 points. Infuriating. So the one big thing you need to do in FM23 when you've built your tactic and you're happy with it is make an alternate version of it as well, because you're going to react when they react. It's going to be a bit of a game of head tennis. Who's going to react first? Who's going to do a better reaction to the reaction? A better reaction to the reaction. You know what I mean. You're going to find yourself going head to head, face to face with some of the best managers in the world, and when they change, you're going to have to change. You can do it. So now you have two options really, don't you? You can either build your tactic and then tweak it in match, which is totally cool. That's what I like to do. Or if you want to be ultra prepared, you can build yourself a second version of your first tactic. Now I've got this tactic here. This is FM23 City. If you want more details on that, it's over on my channel. We did a full Pep replication if you like. But the alternative version, this one, version 2, is not a replication. This is me getting ready for an onslaught if you like. So I was so used to this tactic getting us in the lead and getting us a good head start in the match that we needed to get a second one like this one after that Arsenal game to react to the opposition managers coming onto us. So we've got a few key differences in this one. In the first one, it's a lot more aggressive from the mentality down. In possessions, more aggressive. In transition, we counter press and we've got higher lines and higher pressing. In the second one, we back right off from mentality. In possession, things calm down a bit. We drop the counter press in the defensive line, and the aggressive pressing nature just backs off a little bit to help us deal with the extra pressure that we're going to be under. My good friend Daljit Bustanet did a great Twitter thread on the changes in the match engine yesterday down here. There's some big stuff on there, and guys from SI did respond as well. He's definitely onto something, and there are really cool changes in the match engine. I highly recommend you go and check that out. If you haven't got Twitter, get over to his YouTube, ask him some questions. He's doing live streams all the time. Now, just this very morning on Twitch, we were doing a tactic testing stream, testing out different styles, philosophies with Inter Milan. And we had this game against Lazio. Here is the game in question. Now, we've been on a great run. We hadn't conceded a goal in about 8 matches. We were winning every match, despite changing tactics, because we were just exploring. And we went hammering into Lazio. And by half-time, it was 5-0. At this point, I'll show you the tactic I was using, and we'll probably do some more work on this later on, but it was a 4-3-1-2, really successful last season. Tweaks from last season started doing it, but it was aggressive, as you can see down the in possession and the out possession. 5-0 up at half time. Delighted. Now, because I was on stream and we were playing around with tactics, I didn't really alter it from then. Just kind of sat back and savoured the moment because we were 5-0 up. I was thinking it was going to be 7, 8, 9 or 10. In fact, just the opposite happened. Lazio came back at us. Their manager changed it up completely. Immobile got one back, making it 5-1. And AI tweaks continued with the fullbacks now bombing forward, having in the first half not moved up at all, getting to the touchline, crossing him and getting another back. If they hadn't lost a man through a sending off, they might have got a few more back. And if you look at the match stats and the way it finished, 12 shots, 4 on target, they all came in the second half, and their XG shot up there, getting close to ours, and we scored 5 times. That just shows the swing. The momentum swing is how me and my good friend RDF call it. You think you're cruising, but if you rest on your laurels, they're going to come back at you. Very much like real life. I love it. So when I go back to this save on stream, I've got two options. I can either keep that one and then tweak it as we go in match when we think they're coming onto us, or I can simply go up to here, copy the nuts and bolts of the tactic, so the positions, the formation, and then I can start tweaking it, making it a bit more less aggressive, a bit more solid, taking some risk out, being a bit more sensible, holding on to the ball and seeing games out rather than just continuing to bomb, bomb, bomb. And right there is the holding type of formation, getting ready for the onslaught from the opposition when we initially start the match with that. So give it a go, crew. Even if you've got a great tactic right now and you're loving it, just have a backup option in mind for that swing of momentum. It can come out of nowhere, but it can come. It can come.